So the main card, people, we have 4 fights. 4 fights on the main card, and yeah, we have some very, like with the prelims, really good matchups. You know what I mean? So let's take a look. It all starts off with the flyweights. Okay, we have Charles Johnson against Bruno Gustavo da Silva. Right, so yes. Energy, Charles Johnson. He's 35, 5'9", 70-inch reach. He's got an 18-8 pro record in the UFC. He is 7-6, which is crazy, right? He went 6-1 in LFA and was their former champion. Right, so yeah, he made his UFC debut in July 2022, right, against Muhammad Mukayev. I believe it was a short notice fight, right? There was a little animosity, It was coming off of, right? So he became the champion in NFA July 2021 and then defended the belt twice, right? August, so the following month, you know what I mean? He won the title split decision, but he clearly won that fight. It was a weird one, giving it a split. It was a good fight, but he won it, right? Now, the next one, second round knockout. And then his last defense was January 2022, beat Carlos Mota, right? Knocked him out in the 5th round. That was a fun freaking fight. So, he was looking really good in the LFA, and I think coming to the UFC at the beginning, you were just like, he seems to be fighting differently. So he lost the Mukayev fight. He did win his next 2, right? Beat Zagalas Zamagolov and Jimmy Flick. The Flick one was a very good one, right? But then he got 3 losses, right? It was looking dicey. Lost a split to Ode Osborne, unanimous to Cody Durden, and then Rafael Estevan. But bounced back, beat Asvat Maxim, right? Got a fight of the night for that one. Then he beat Jake Hadley, knocked out Joshua Van, right? Beat Sumadaji. So it was looking really good. He then lost a decision to Ramazan Terimov. I believe that was a short notice fight. Just seemed a bit flat in that one. But again, came back and looked sensational against Lonnie Kavanagh. Right? Knocked him out. Again, a bit like the Van fight, right? So you're like, oh, okay. But then he lost to Alex Perez, got knocked out, which was crazy. Like, did not see that one coming. And so, I think he has been hitting more of that form we saw in the LFA, right? But, yeah, it was just, the Perez, he came in with the guard down, right? There was things he could have done to prevent that. But, it wasn't necessarily, he looked terrible kind of thing. It's these little mistakes that get made. So he's going up against Bruno Gustavo da Silva, Bulldog, right? Who is 35, 5'4", 66-inch reach. So Johnson has a 4-inch reach advantage there. He's got an overall record of 15-7-2 with 1 no contest. Right, in the UFC, he's 5-4 with 1 no contest. He won fight in LFA, and that was a draw. But yeah, he's coming in off of a loss. Wait, no, he's not. He's coming in off of a win. What am I saying? Yeah, that was a what? It's funny because in some of these divisions, a lot of people, it's all kind of, they've all fought each other, right? So they both had Joshua Van as an opponent. Now, we know Johnson beat Van. Da Silva got stopped in the 3rd. Right? But yeah, his last fight was against Honson Park. That was October last year. He got a rear naked in the 3rd round. He also, before the Van fight, he fought Manel Cap. He got, again, 3rd round knocked out, right? Gustavo made his debut October 2019. That was the no contest with Khalid Taha. Right? He then lost a couple, came back and went on a bit of a run before the Cap fight. Right? He's got strikes, right? He's knocked out a few people, JP Boys, Victor Rodriguez. He's also got subs, right? He choked out Tyson Nan, along with the Park fight, right? So he does have that. Now, Johnson, he's good on the ground too. So I think if it did go to the ground, it's not like Johnson's going to be like, oh, what am I doing? He's got that ground game. And as we know, he's knocked people out too. So I think with this one, the big thing is, Johnson, how will he start, right? Will he start slowly, right? And it's the confidence, right? Because you can be overconfident. And I think in some of those fights where, he got stopped, right? Some of that, right? The Perez fight, a little overconfident, got clipped, right? So I think there is that to think about. But I do like Johnson. I think Johnson, it's just about finding that consistency. And I think if he can definitely, I don't know, right? You see, the thing is, I have to say, I don't know if he could get to the title, but he did beat Joshua Van, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, it is possible. He was the LFA champion. He has been in deep waters. So, I do believe that Johnson, there is so much more for him to do, right? He can definitely reach those heights. I think he could be in the top 5, right? And on any given Sunday, who knows? You get a short notice call up, a bit like Joshua Van, right? It could happen. So yeah, I'm taking Charles Johnson for the win. So from the flyweights, we go all the way up to the light heavies. All right, we got Ion Cuțelaba against Oumar Sy. So, yes, the Hulk, Ion Cuțelaba. He's 32, 6'1", 75-inch reach. Overall pro record of 19-11-1 with 1 no contest. Okie dokie. Is 8-10-1 draw in the UFC. Alright, so last time out we saw him lose a split to Modestas Bukauskas. That was May last year. And it just took Ion a while to warm up in that fight, right? Modestas did the better work. You know, I think Cuțelaba came on strong towards the end of the fight, but it was just a bit too little too late. But Cuțelaba, he's done a lot of different things. We've seen him up against, the former champion. Right? He's fought Johnny Walker, Kennedy Unichiku, Ryan Spann, Devin Clark, Dustin Jacoby, Ankalaev, right? Those two weird fights. Khalil Roundtree, Clover Teixeira. He has been in there with the top shotters of the division. Right? So, there is that. He is going up against Oumar Sy, right? He is 30. 6'4", 83-inch reach. So, a huge reach advantage, right? Nearly 10 inches in his favor. Right? He's got an overall pro as 12-1, coming off a win in his last fight. It's funny because he's French, but he does fight out of the Bulgarian top team. I mean, partly probably because, for ages, MMA was illegal in France, right? So you just had to try and find your way somehow. He's 3-1 in the UFC. So, he beat Brenson Ribeiro last time out. First round stoppage, ground and pound. That was September last year. He did lose to Alonzo Meadowfield. And that was a weird fight because I thought Sy won that fight, right? I think the big thing was Meadowfield's punches were a little harder, right? Where Sy was kind of throwing a lot, but pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Meadowfield was just swinging. And when he hit Sy, right, Sy noticeably was like, poof, which it might not have hurt you, but making exaggerated movements makes it look like it hurt you. And so the judges are going to be like, ooh, significant strike, right? So I think that was the big thing with that fight, He made his UFC debut, right? He choked out Tuco Tucas in the first round. That was on May 2024. And he's just been doing his thing since, I think it's an interesting one, but I'm going to take Sy for the win. So we then drop down to the featherweights, right? We got a couple of featherweights to round out the main card. And it is one of those ones where it's kind of like the featherweights are featuring on this one, So we have Marwan Rahiki against Harry Hardwick, right? So, Harry Hardwick, he is 31, 5'8", 71-inch reach, goes by Houdini. He's 13-4-1, coming off a loss in his UFC debut. That was against Kai Fernandez. Lost by calf kicks, right? Fernandez just chopped those legs. And we know Fernandez kicks. So it is that weird thing of, like, certain fighters, they just do not even attempt to, check a kick. Which is kind of bananas when you know that's going to be sent against you. Right? You know you don't like it. So, you know what I mean? Check the kick. Because the check can hurt your opponent, giving them pause to throwing the kick. Right? So, yeah. It'll be interesting to see what he's learned from that. It definitely will. Because, I think Rahiki does kick too, so it'll be interesting. He was Hardwick was a former Cage Warriors champion, right? He won the belt in May 2024, defended it a couple of times, So he does have that experience on him. Look, he's knocked people out, right? He does have that power. He's got some subs, right? Likes a rear naked. But, he is going up against Marwan Freaky Rahiki. Right, he's 23, 5'8", 72-inch reach. 0.70 in the amateurs. And he's, now turned pro. Yes, he's coming via the Contender Series. Won that contract in October 2025. Second round stoppage of Ananasi Malumbo. When you look at it, he also has knockout power and he's got subs, right? Also won belts outside of the UFC, won a couple of them before that Contender Series call up, So, he's got knockouts, he's got subs. Definitely, it seems that he is well-rounded. Likes a guillotine. You know what I mean? Does like a gilly. We got our debut fighter against someone who's just had the one. Right? Both have a similar skill sets. But I think I'm going freaky, people. I think I'm gonna go freaky. Let's see what the fuck happens. So our last fight on the main card, right? Our featured bout, still the featherweight, right? We have Fili against Jose Miguel Delgado. So, Touchy Fili, he's 35, 5'11", 74-inch reach. Right? He's 25-12 with one no contest. What else do we have? Okay, so man, he has been he was in the WEC. I do believe he was in the WEC. In the UFC's 13, 11, and 1 no contest. Right? So, he made his UFC debut all the way back in October 2013. Jeez. Right? Man, that's a long ass time ago. long ass time. In his second fight, he fought Max Holloway. Right? I mean, damn, that's a tough one. You know, he's alpha male or an alpha. Yeah, it's just alphas now. Because there are women in the team. But yeah, team alpha. All right, so great camp. You know, he's got a lot of skills. It's an interesting fight, people. Very interesting fight. I don't know. Right? Now, Delgado, he's 27, 5'11", 74-inch reach. 10-2 overall. Is coming in off of a loss. Right? So, he's 2-1 in the UFC. Came via the Contender Series. So he won that contract in August 2024. Beat Ernie Juarez. Like, hit him with a knee in the second round. So then made his debut February last year. Beat Conor Matthews, first round stoppage. Then he beat Hydra Emil, right? Which was, I thought Hydra was going to win that one. You know, that was a crazy fight, right? Early in the first round, he knocked him out. It was just like, what? But last time out, he lost a unanimous decision to Nathaniel Wood. Now, Nathaniel Wood is extremely good. Delgado did miss weight as well. So we will see what happens here. I think I like Fili, man. Like, Fili is very good. He's very skilled. But we do have this new crop of talent coming through. So I'm gonna have to throw my hat behind Delgado. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Fili won. But I just think this, you know, Delgado has looked very good. Like, he was so impressive in those two wins. So I'm going to go with Delgado. But fun fight to take us to our co-main. So, yeah, people, let's get with it.